Hello everyone, this is Mr. Taylor. In this first video, I would like to discuss expectations of graduate level discourse and entering into academic conversations at the graduate level and what that means. What are the expectations? What are some of the common misconceptions? And what should you do if any of this sounds unfamiliar at this point? I'm going to go ahead and dive right in here. The main questions to begin asking yourself are the following. What is academic research? What does it mean to research a phenomenon or concept or phenomena? How do I develop research questions regarding a research topic or interest? How do my research questions lead to developed thesis statements to further inform the content that you will research? How do I utilize scholarly sources to substantiate any claims or assertions made in my research? How do I include in-text citations, attributions, and reference citations into my work correctly and efficiently? And finally, how do I adequately narrow or focus my research topic to the level of specificity required at the graduate level? If any of these questions sound unfamiliar or you do not automatically know or have an inclination as to what the answer to these questions would be, your first step is to navigate over to Canvas and look at support videos under modules. Most of these concepts are those that are covered via writing and research classes at the undergraduate level, whether they be general education classes or if they're more tailored specific in major discipline-specific research methods classes. The idea and the theory behind academic research is something that's theory-based at the undergraduate level. It's where you typically learn what's the theory and what are the main points of emphasis behind research. Why do we do it? Why do we care about it? And then also the logistics of research. How do I take an initial research topic and narrow that to something that's feasible, logistically feasible for the task at hand? But also, how do I start tailoring my search, my keywords, the synonyms that I use to generate sources that I can use? What sources are relevant enough or tailored enough to my topic? How do I develop research questions that will then lead to a thesis statement that will inform everything that I do and all of the information I present, all of the claims and assertions I present in my research, and also how they're organized, how they're presented, and how cohesion and unity are all maintained and leveraged throughout your work. If any of this does not sound familiar to you, then it's an indication that you need to go and look at those support videos and brush up from undergrad. One of the things that's unfortunate about coming into a graduate program such as this is that if your undergraduate institution did not cover these concepts, it's incumbent upon you as a student, but also as a researcher, to ensure that you understand these basic concepts before diving into more higher level, specific graduate level inquiry or research. So that's the first step. As I mentioned in my introductory video, watch those other videos. They're very, how can I say this, low key in a way. I am very basic with the vocabulary I use. The main impetus behind all of those videos is to ensure that you can answer all these questions and you know the basic process for how to take a topic, develop it, develop research questions that you can then go out and conduct background research and then generate some types of sources, and then how you can begin to organize those research questions and the information you find into a thesis statement that can then guide your entire project and guide your actual drafting and writing of your project. So that's step one. What about writing? I talk a lot about writing and academic tone. These are both crucial to your success in your graduate program, but also in IPE 520. We're going to cover this in immense detail. For now, what I want to do is provide an introduction and a frame of reference to what is graduate level discourse, what is graduate level research, and also what are the expectations. You are all going to receive individual and detailed feedback and copious edits from me regarding your own writing style. And this is something we're going to work together to develop throughout your program and throughout your class here in IPE 520. I'm also going to be publishing videos separately regarding these items. So just know that that's the other half of the coin here. This is the other side of the main points of emphasis for this course. But right now, I just want you to understand the theory behind graduate research. So what are the expectations in graduate academic discourse. When I mention academic discourse, I'm simply mentioning academic conversation. But then what does that mean, if that sounds unfamiliar? The whole point of research at the graduate level is to enter into an academic conversation with other scholars, professionals, and those who are well researched within your area or discipline. You are engaging in a conversation to learn something new, to move the needle in some way, to discover new variables regarding a certain topic. So when you talk about the expectations of entering into these types of conversations at this level, you will find that the research and the content and the topic is much more specific. You are conducting much more in-depth analysis regarding a topic with much more specific, narrowed sub-ideas, main points, variables, subsections. Your work tends to be much more detailed and includes a plethora of academic-specific vocabulary, concepts, theories, etc. Also, something that's different between the graduate level and undergraduate level of research is that the researcher, i.e. you, at this level, has much more control or autonomy over the direction of your research content. You're able to take and formulate concepts that may not already exist because the goal is to learn something new, or again, to move the needle in the conversation so that other entities in the conversation, other researchers or other professionals out there, are able to learn something new or to garner something new from the conversation that you're providing. So you have much more control over the direction of your research, how you present your ideas, the way by which you want to analyze certain concepts, the way by which you investigate certain concepts. You have complete control over that to some extent. Something else is the research tends to be much more involved. I think most of you probably are seeing this by now, but at this level, there's much more reading, surveying, and studying of the literature regarding a topic. The idea is that you don't have a topic and engage in research and go and pull sources here and there that address some facets of your topic. The idea is that you have a complete understanding on all the literature, all the sources, all the research that exists in the academic realm about your topic. That includes past articles, past journals, current articles, popular articles and conversations in the academic conversation. Those research studies and articles and journals that have been deemed problematic by others in the realm, contentious, those that tend to cause some apprehensiveness among professionals who are researching. Any of that information, journals, scholarly articles that are flawed, those that are accurate. The idea is that you have an overall picture of your topic and you understand all the literature that exists. And there are other implications about that in that you are tasked with knowing what are all of the main ideas of a concept, what are all the variables that are presented, but also what's missing. What are the gaps that exist in the literature? What are some of the concepts or variables of your topic that are being overlooked? Why are they being overlooked? What can we do to address those things or concepts that are missing? And how does it impact your topic? And moreover, how do all of these ideas impact the conversation that's happening in the realm, the understanding of your topic, and what practitioners can take away from learning from those missing items? You will also notice that graduate academic discourse is completely reliant upon style. So APA is what we use, American Psychological Association. You may be familiar with MLA, Modern Language Association, Chicago, etc. The work that you present at the graduate level, the organization thereof, your citations, everything is highly contingent upon the style that you use. And so it's not something that you use just to present your in-text citations and your reference citations. Your entire work, document, organization, cohesion of the research you present will be based upon that style. And so you are constantly having to reference and check your style guide, That's why it's a required textbook for this course, along with our other textbook. And so what you'll find is that while you're working on your research, the other side of this coin is making sure that you are presenting all of your ideas in writing that is parallel with the style guide we're using. You'll also find that you will garner complete knowledge about the literature that exists, the authors, the conversations, trends, research studies regarding the topic. In other words, you're going to become a professional in the conversation regarding your topic. You would be able to take up any type of position in a conversation with another scholar or a professional in the field and be able to engage in conversation and be well informed about all of the trends, all the studies, all the missing concepts, all the overdone or overused concepts in a topic. And that's important. But that also indicates that as a researcher, you're not simply just going to have a topic and you're not going to go out and pull sources to support your topic. You're actually going to do something different with the conversation. You're going to move the needle in a different direction, whereby the conversation has not investigated that part of your inquiry at that point. Graduate research is also designed to introduce and include the researcher into true conversation with professionals in the field. So something that incoming graduate students tend to struggle with in terms of research is the idea that you are now a professional in the field. You may not be considered a seasoned researcher or a seasoned experienced practitioner in your field quite yet, but this is the beginning of that journey. And so, depending on what your track is in the MASM program, the idea is that you're able to transition over to this professional level of expertise, that you're able to research concepts, and then you have the credibility to present recommendations for future research or recommendations for practitioners in the field based on your topic and your research. So much so that the other professionals, that the other scholars in your field will trust your research and will be able to take your content seriously, that you're a true contender in the academic conversation regarding your topic. Real quickly, some other expectations for graduate writing is that you're going to be writing for an audience that has some background or experience in your general area of inquiry. When I say area of inquiry, I am referring to your research topic and your discipline or your major, if you will. So the idea is that you're going to be tailoring the level of detail and specificity, how much detail you're including and jargon words, i.e. your vocabulary, to meet more formal academic standards. So the best way to get acclimated with this is to go out and survey the journals and the articles and the publications that exist in the academic realm regarding your topic, and to take a look at the vocabulary, to take a look at how the ideas and concepts are presented. And you'll notice that there already exists a formal standard for what words you can use, what ideas you present, how you present them, as they're tailored directly to your topic. Also, another expectation is that the writing and research will explore or explain new insights, interpretations, or modes of inquiry, ways of researching or ways of analyzing a topic. You are not simply regurgitating others' work. This is the biggest flaw in most undergraduate work transitioning to graduate level work. Undergraduate careers tend to focus on research as a way of synthesizing information and compiling information that already exists so that you have a better understanding of what the conversation is in the academic realm, but not necessarily investigating those concepts further or moving the needle or truly contributing to the conversation so that collectively scholars and professionals in your field learn something new based on your work. And so that's the new idea as you transition into graduate work. You are actively engaging in this academic conversation now. So you will not simply regurgitate information that exists in the world. You're going to look at the information in a different way. You're going to analyze your topic in a different way. You're going to do something that has not been done, conduct research that has not been done, or in a set of concepts or analysis that has not been done that will make others understand or that will push the conversation somewhere that it hasn't been with regard to your topic. Also, writing will draw on academic sources, that's secondary research such as